Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my final team selection for Game Week 2. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, are you making any transfers this week? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, out of my two goalkeeper choices, Onana and Turner, I think I am going to go with Onana in goal. He's got Spurs away, not the greatest fixture, and obviously Turner does have Sheffield United at home. I'd be much more obliged to play Turner if I did have a 4.5 mil keeper like a Pickford or a Flecken or a Johnston or something like that. But because I've got Onana, I put extra money in Onana. He got an absolute crazy 9-pointer against Wolves at home. I'm hoping that he will get a few more points. I don't think either of the keepers will honestly keep a clean sheet. Even though I'm a Forest fan, it is at home, and the City ground is just a fortress sometimes. I still think Sheffield United will get a goal against us. Hopefully he'll finish like 3-1 or 4-1 to us. That would be ideal. But yeah, with Onana, I think he will just make a few save points. He might even keep a clean sheet as well. You know, Spurs, they are very much hit or miss. You know, they can have a really good game or they could have a terrible game. I also think that Bruno and Rashford will do really well against Spurs as well. I think they play right to United's strengths. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go Onana. Could come to bite me in the ass. I mean, obviously, it was not going to take too long to know if it was the right decision or not because Forest do play Sheffield United tonight. But either way, going Onana in goal. The back line consists of Estepinian, who's got Wolves away, Saliba, who's got Crystal Palace away, and then Chilwell, who's got West Ham away. Chilwell, I think, is going to have a really, really good game this week. I know it's away, but I just think he's going to pop off, especially after this West Ham game. The next three fixtures are so good. And then obviously Saliba, Crystal Palace away. I don't think Arsenal keep a clean sheet in that game, but you know, I'm not going to play anyone else over him. My only other options are either Baldock, who's got Forest away, or obviously Archer, who's got Everton at home, who probably won't even play. So got to play Saliba regardless because Kabore's got a blank. And then yeah, Estepinian, Wolves away. Could definitely see him picking up a few more points this week as well. So quite happy with the look of the back three. There's not really too much more to say about it. The thing is about Chilwell as well, he potentially could be on penalties. I know it's a massive if, but obviously Reece James potentially could have been the penalty taker. He's obviously gone out injured now for that hamstring injury, which we'll talk about later. There's obviously like Nicholas Jackson and stuff that could also take penalties. But you know, Chilwell, I think he definitely is up there. He definitely is in the pecking order, I think. So if he had penalties, his value would just shoot through the roof, like absolutely ridiculously. But either way, that's the back three and Onana in goal. In midfield, we've got Rashford, who's got Spurs away, Ødegaard, who's got Palace away, Saka, who's got Palace away, Mitoma, who's got Wolves away, and then Bruno Fernandes, who's got Spurs away as well. I see a lot of people wanting to get rid of Bruno Fernandes this week. He's, you know, in that first game, he played a little bit deep, and people are kind of trying to rush off him to bring in Maddison and stuff. I understand why people want to get rid of him, but I think you kind of need to give him more than one game. When you're bringing in a player, you don't bring him in for like one fixture. You try and look ahead and bring him in for like the next 4 or 5. Which is like obviously what people are going to do with Maddison. But Maddison's got United at home this week, which isn't the greatest fixture. He could still return, obviously, any player can. But after that fixture is when Maddison's fixtures get really good. So if I am to get rid of somebody for Maddison, it'll either be Ødegaard or Bruno. I'm more inclined to get rid of Ødegaard just because Bruno does have penalties. They are both 90-minute men, but at the same time, I think I would like Maddison in my squad after this game week. So I'll have to have a look. Again, we've only got one game as a sample to go off of. So Maddison could have a terrible game and Richarlison could play really well. And then that could be a conversation that everyone's having. Plus Richarlison potentially could be on penalties. If Spurs sign a striker, which obviously they should do because of Kane departing, then obviously it makes Richarlison a much less of a good pick. But if they don't, then Richarlison's going to be a really good pick, especially if he's on penalties, because he's not much money, and he's basically playing as that number 9 for Spurs. So, again, anything could happen this game week, and it could change everybody's minds. Mitoma is another player that I am kind of wanting to get rid of. Not anytime soon. I'll play him this week, I'll play him the week after, and then I'll probably be switching to an Mbeumo or something like that, who's obviously got some really good fixtures, and obviously on penalties and stuff like that. I really hope Mitoma does well, because so far I think he's 2 points behind Mbeumo. I think Mbeumo got 7 in the first game week. Mitoma only got 5 because he picked up that yellow card annoyingly. But he did get a bonus point, I believe. But either way, would have been nice to not pick up that yellow card. But yeah, he needs to match Mbeumo for me to obviously know it was a good decision or even like do better than him. Saka obviously fine, staying in the team. Rashford, yeah, a lot of people are jumping off Rashford as well. I think they've already had like 100k people get rid of them. I don't understand why. It's just been one game, very knee-jerky. You know, if Rashford goes and scores a brace in this game against Spurs, then everyone's going to jump back on him. So it's like I say, you got to just wait and hope for the best. But the midfield's looking okay. The only bad thing about my team is like they're all away fixtures. Like I've only got 2 home fixtures, which are my strikers, which are obviously Watkins and Haaland. Everton at home for Watkins, and then Newcastle at home for Haaland. Again, with my team, I don't have any like massive captaincy shouts. I may as well go Haaland. He has a home fixture. Yes, it is against Newcastle, but that could still be a high-scoring game, and Haaland can hopefully bag some points there. If you have Salah, obviously you captain Salah this week. Like it shouldn't even really be a debate between Salah and Haaland. You know, they're both on penalties. And Salah should hopefully get some against Bournemouth. I know last season when they scored like 8 or 9 and he got like nothing. It was just absolutely crazy. But I doubt that'll happen again this season. But yeah, I think that Salah could really go big against Bournemouth. Very, very worried about that. All the Liverpool players as well. If you've got Trent as well, then yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that. And then obviously the bench is just Turner, Baldock, Archer, and then Kabore. So that's my Game Week 2 team as of right now. Like I say, we're going to go into transfers real quick. I've got nothing in the bank. But again, for Game Week 3, I was definitely eyeing up Reece James for potentially Saliba, because I don't think out of the fixtures coming up, I'm going to play Saliba that much. Like Fulham at home, I'd maybe play him, but at the same time, I'd have like Reece James, who would be a much better option. I wouldn't play him against Man United at home. Everton away is a nice fixture. Spurs at home's tough. Bournemouth away would be a good fixture, and then it's City and Chelsea. So I wouldn't be playing him that much at all. I'd be playing against Fulham, Everton, and Bournemouth. Where if you look at the Chelsea fixtures, they're just all absolutely incredible. Luton, Forest, Bournemouth, Fulham, and Burnley in the next between Game Week 3 and Game Week 8. So obviously Reece James, much better shout, but then he went and got injured. So that's the kind of issue. The only difference now is that Gusto kind of does come into the conversation. I believe that's his name anyway. He's like a 4 mil. Yeah, he's a 4 mil defender for Chelsea. And if Reece James is out for a while, this player could definitely be someone you want to target, because he should be in the starting 11 and stuff. And if he is for 4 mil, that is such a good way into the Chelsea defense. It is a bit of a waste of a transfer. Like, I can't really be downgrading anyone to him because, you know, once Reece James comes back and he loses his spot, I'm going to have to sort that out. So it'd be one of my 4 mil defenders that I'd get rid of. But I don't know. I don't like the idea of transferring a 4 mil defender for another 4 mil defender. But it is something that I would have to do, I think, potentially. So that kind of kills my Game Week 3 plans. Because like I said, I have 2 free transfers. Again, what I think I'm going to do is either get rid of Bruno Fernandes or Ødegaard. It's looking more like it's going to be Ødegaard because that Forest fixture in Game Week 3 is obviously really, really nice. Even though Ødegaard does have Fulham at home as well. So they've both got really good fixtures. But I will be wanting to upgrade Saliba to like somebody. But now it's not going to be Reece James. I'm not really too sure. I'll be bringing in Maddison or Richarlison for one of them. Most likely going to be Maddison. So let's just say it's Ødegaard and I bring in Maddison. That'd give me $1 mil in the bank just to kind of play around with. And with that money, I don't really know what I'd do. I could always downgrade Watkins as well to a Nicholas Jackson, because I think I would like 2 Chelsea players for these fixtures. I mean, something I could always do is downgrade Onana to Sanchez, who would be the new number 1. And I know that Onana has Forest at home, but you know Chelsea would have Luton at home in that fixture, so arguably both should be getting a clean sheet. But yeah, I might just be like using one transfer in Game Week 2 and getting rid of Ødegaard for Maddison, because there's not really anyone else that I could really see getting rid of. Like, Saliba will have Fulham at home. Like, it's not a terrible fixture at all. And apart from that, like, there's not really any massive standouts that I need. Potentially could be getting rid of Mbeumo. He's got West Ham at home. So if I get rid of Mitoma for Mbeumo, he's got some nice fixtures coming up. He's got Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, stuff like that. So potentially that could be the way I go and just bring him in for Mitoma. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But that's kind of where my head is at right now with my fixtures and stuff. I could arguably go for like 2 Spurs players and bring in like Udogie or something like that for a Baldock. And then that's obviously kind of sorting me out for Spurs. But I feel like I need 2 Chelsea players going into Game Week 3. That lose the home fixture, and then Forest home is such a good fixture. So potentially it could be a Watkins that I get rid of, who does have Burnley away, but you know, obviously Jackson has a much better fixture. But it's not something that I feel like I have to be doing like anytime soon. So that's kind of where my head's at. It might just be the one fixture. It might just be the one transfer in Game Week 3, and obviously just have 2 in the bank for Game Week 4. But as of right now, the Reece James kind of injury did kind of scamper my plans, because originally I was going to do Ødegaard to Maddison and then Saliba to Reece James and have them both for the free fixtures. But obviously now I can't really do that. I can bring in another Chelsea defender, obviously, for Saliba, which I still potentially could do, like a Colwell or something like that. But I don't know. Doesn't really sit right with me. Either way, that's kind of my thinking. So this week I'm just going to roll. Obviously, the team's absolutely fine, I think. There's not really any players I'd bring in this week who I'd be like excited about. So yeah, we're just rolling this week. And that's going to be everything for today's video. If you did enjoy, drop a like down below. Leave a comment. What transfers you thinking of making for Game Week 2. Subscribe if you're brand new. And until next time, peace.